But as soon as I loosened up that cap to put my gauges on, all hell broke loose. Hey guys, Bobby here. I'm at Advantage Heating and Air Conditioning. There's going to be 3 things that I'm going to pick each week to talk about. It's going to be dirty, it's going to be nasty, it's going to be gross, it's going to be just absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to show you guys. Tune in each week. You have to see this to believe it. Good morning guys, welcome back. I've got 3 things again. I go out to calls every day, all week long. When I see some really bad stuff, I want to take a picture of it. I go, I gotta show you guys this stuff because this stuff is gross. This stuff is dangerous. This stuff is absolutely fantastic. First thing that I saw that really caught my eye was I went out to a call, no cooling. The compressor was not kicking on. The outdoor fan motor was running, so there was sound, but it was not cooling. Most guys would be like, yep, compressor failure. They think the compressor shorted. But that's not the case because there was power. So I do a little bit of investigating, and what I found was the start winding wire actually vibrated to the point where it created resistance with electricity, and it created heat. And that actually ended up busting off the wire from the actual terminal and welded the spade connector to the compressor. So, mind you, this compressor is still good. Good news is I was able to do a temp fix, so that way the customer had cooling for a short period of time until they can get taken care of the right way. One of the most common no cooling call is seriously leaks. 75% of issues come with, or the reason for them is install issues. This customer decided to do a DIY. If you guys don't know what a DIY is, it's called do it yourself. Bad news when it comes to air conditioning. Unless you know air conditioning and you know what you're doing, please do not try to do it yourself. I go out there, it's a ductless mini split. So again, like last week, you got the head unit on the wall, outdoor unit sits on the ground, it's connected with the line set. The indoor unit was freezing up. So, you know, they take the cover off where the filters are, and they look inside of it, and it's instantly freezing up the minute it comes on. And it didn't take me not more than probably 5 minutes to figure out if the system was low on charge. So after I had the conversation with the customer and I went out to the outdoor unit, tried to hook up my gauges, there is a port that your refrigerant gauges hook up to where the Schrader core is. Well, if that Schrader core is not seated properly, or if it's sticking, or if it just failed in general, it's going to leak right there. Well, in this video that I'm going to show you, it did exactly that. So, customer didn't know. Why? Because he's not an HVAC tech. I loosened it up. And as soon as I loosened it up, it just started spewing out. He had it tight enough where it was a very, very small leak. And it took a year for it to leak out. Not all the way, but for the most part. But as soon as I loosened up that cap to put my gauges on, all hell broke loose. It was like the Schrader core wasn't even in it. What's going to prevent that? Try not to do it yourself. You'll be on the right track. Last thing I'm going to talk about, and mind you guys, this is a lot of fun for me. I hope it's a lot of fun for you listening and trying to learn a little bit each time and each week. But you remember a couple weeks ago, I talked about how a capacitor exploded inside the heat pump. The capacitor couldn't handle it. It overheated. The capacitor boiled up and exploded inside the heat pump. Well, this one didn't explode. The heat pump was actually not balanced properly on the pad. The fan blade wasn't quite on the shaft very, very good. So what happened was it put it out of balance, which created a vibration like you wouldn't believe. With that vibration, those wires and everything, the refrigerant lines, the capillary tubes, just about everything inside that heat pump is just vibrating away. Well, metal and electricity can only handle that for so long. The winding for the compressor that connects onto the capacitor busted off. And when it busted off, it shorted right to the cabinet, popped the fuse in the disconnect, and guess what? Bet you can't guess it. Oh, you did. No heat pump, no air conditioning. It didn't work. So guess who had to go out? This guy. As soon as I opened that cabinet, it told me a whole story. The capacitor was rusted on top. The wires were burnt, hot. I mean, it's been having loose connection for a long time. What's going to prevent this? Bet you guys can't guess this one. Maintenance. That's right. Maintenance. Seriously, guys, that's it. That's all I got for you this week. Check back with us next week with You Have to See This, Believe It. I'm out.